Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello and welcome to another week's episode of Spare Parts Racing. I am your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
And this week we have our favorite home race to talk about, Toronto. Steven, you look like you're already going to laugh.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay, fine.
Fine.
We're just going to go off with that. Okay. We got Toronto to talk about. We have Hungary to talk about. We have some teams getting pissy with their staff to talk about. And a driver announcement in F1. So yeah. Without further ado, hey Taylor, I want to have a funny story from Indy weekend.
Okay.
Guess who decided they didn't need sunscreen?
Oh, Sean.
No, it was not me.
Oh. Steven?
Yeah, but I'm fine. I'm just tanned.
Okay,
Look at
the first day you were not tan. You were freaking red as a tomato.
Okay, have y'all heard? Okay, first and foremost, it doesn't really matter if you tan or you burn naturally. Have you ever heard of melanoma? That is why you wear sunscreen.
Listen. One of the Marshall guys told me about conspiracy theories involving sunscreen.
Yeah. The sunscreen.
Are you serious?
Is what does it.
Yes.
Wait, was that actually a thing?
Yes. Yes.
Ew.
Apparently,
I hate
the
that.
sunscreen kills you. But joking aside,
Oh my gosh.
I had a great weekend. I don't know about you guys. Did you guys have a good indie week?
That was fantastic.
Yeah. I had some visits, which was nice. Thank you, Sean, for coming to visit me.
And getting your water. I tried to visit you during
Yeah,
the red
I know.
flag, but you were.
I was
currently-
busy.
You were holding the red flag,
I was actively holding the red flag,
which
yes.
seems redundant.
After
Yeah,
the first
but
couple
that's
minutes, yeah.
I should have yelled
It's
at
not
you.
even-
Oh, I should try to scare you and have you drop
It's
it.
not even that we hold it. It is constantly being waved because that's just what it is in IndyCar. That's what we got to do.
Well, I appreciate
So I waved
your
it the whole
commitment.
time.
Oh yes. Listen, I got a great action shot of you waving it. Okay, so
Mhm.
I expect
Yeah,
that
that
to
was
be
much
your profile
appreciated.
pictures now.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it was a good weekend. How about
Fair enough.
y'all? How was turn 3?
Fun, sort of.
More entertaining than
Sort
last
of.
year.
Yeah. I mean, there was actual
Oh,
passes that happened through it. There was some good.
Yeah.
A couple guys ran wide and had to do a little pirouette to get back, and that was kind of always fun to see.
Nice.
I think the biggest fail I saw the weekend was in the Canadian sports car race, where they tried. I think there was like an 8-point turn to get out of the runoff. Yeah, it was. Remember that gold Mercedes?
Yep.
Yeah, I hated that car.
Yeah, it was like Vagis or whatever was the sponsor. Don't even want to know what that is, but anyway.
Terrible sponsor.
Yeah, they ran wide in 3 and then proceeded to do like an 18-point turn to find their way out, and it was really embarrassing. I mean,
Unreal.
close second was Marcus Ericsson also making it to 3 after, the turn 1 incident.
The incident.
Yes, we'll talk about that shortly because I know you're heated about that one. But yeah.
Well, I thought I was gonna say the other biggest fail would be Lundqvist just sort of putting it in the tires.
Yeah, that's
unassisted.
fair. It happens. That's the only tire impact I think in that corner all weekend.
Yeah.
There was nothing else. So it was a lot calmer than my IMSA week for sure.
We almost died.
I think I have proved I am not the magnet.
I mean,
We all have a weekend where we're the magnet, Sean.
Okay, fair enough.
also if you're getting targeted in turn 3, I've got bigger worries. If they're crashing into your corner of this grandstand in turn 3.
Cut to the infamous Indy 500 call of 1 car airborne. Yeah.
Yep.
Be a little worse than that. But yeah, it was a good race weekend. Herta dominated it. So it was a good 1-2 for Andretti. And Dixon came from who the fuck knows where to third, as he always does. Because Dixon
you didn't think I was right when I said the veterans were going to get to the front.
Honestly, yeah, I think we debated that. It's like, oh, but it's so hard to pass. But it proved this year, they could pass.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And there was quite a lot of passing and movement. As much as, Herta and Kirkwood dominated, throughout the entire rest of the field, guys went up, guys went down.
Yeah, that was just two cars that nailed the setup and were
Fast.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just looking here. Herta led of
Every
85
session.
laps. He led 81 laps in the race. Dixon led 3. And can you guess who led 1?
Ooh. Was it Siegel?
Nope.
Oh. Who was it?
Marcus Ericsson.
Really? Oh, I haven't. Well, I guess,
Do not remember him leading a lap.
Nope.
So. Oh well.
Yeah, it was a good race. I guess the biggest thing to come out of the race was that turn 1 incident, where again some car decided to go for a little fly, go for a little up in the air business.
Two
Okay.
weeks and 2 liftoffs.
Yeah. that's
So-
good.
IndyCar.
I'm going to start by saying I only felt kind of bad about the situation because quite literally, seconds before this happened, on that restart, I was just talking with one of the other marshals I was working with, and he's not a Herta fan, so he was like, okay, Herta needs to put it in the wall. And I was like, no, Ferrucci needs to crash out of this race. And so, like, right on the restart, as they're going by, I'm like, Ferrucci needs to crash. And then I'm like, oh no. So, I mean, not that bad, but did I put it out there? I don't know. Yeah.
So you caused Pato to crash. You bitch.
No. Pato, that's a skill issue. He did that all on his own.
How dare you hate on Pato?
Oh, I'm hating on Pato.
Why are you hating on
He
Pato?
deserves it. He deserves it
For what? What has he ever done?
for being annoying and not taking responsibility for the fact that he spun all on his own. The whole local yellow thing,
Oh,
very
go off.
annoying.
Go off.
He is the one. No, but like honestly, he is the one that started all of the criticism about how fast the response was. And part of that, or at least part of the criticism, has come back on the marshals who staffed turn 1, which is ridiculous. The arguments I've heard, people saying that those marshals should go and hide because they didn't do a good enough job, is ridiculous, because they did throw a local yellow about this situation that was happening. And the biggest issue, and what I have not heard, is the placement of the light, and like the light panel for turn 1 is in a terrible position. All of the cars involved in that incident had already passed the light panel by the time like it was turned on, which was, let me get my facts here.
Oh, she brought facts. Oh.
3.7 seconds after Pato took a spin. So, how long do you think it takes the average human brain to process and react to a situation? On average.
Not about a second.
Generally, it's 1 to 3 seconds. So, when the IndyCar race control went back and watched that footage, it took 1 second for the marshal to react to something happening in that corner. 1 second to throw the flag and put the light on. By that time, the cars had already gone by. So, it was on in a timely manner, as fast as humanly possible. I don't know what more you want people to do at that point. And then I think a second after that, that's when they went full course.
And like you can see in the video, like the yellow is getting stuck through the hole as they're going by.
Nolan Siegel's on
Yeah,
board.
like the yellow was through the hole. And like again, if I
Right,
just say
that shows how early that flag stand is,
yes,
though, because
isn't it at like the 200 meter or something, or 200 yard
yes,
feet or whatever the fuck?
yes.
It is? Feet maybe. It's
And then
feet.
when you also see other onboards, you can see by the time he reaches the car, like by the time he reaches Pato, the light panel had already been activated because you can see the green light in 2. So to me, all of the arguments that the response was not timely enough is so ignorant, and it's ridiculous, and it's really annoying.
Oh, 100%.
And anytime, and like, but honestly, like if Pato had just kept it, I get that emotions are running high, but check your facts before you say something like that, because to hear other marshals criticize the marshals at turn 1 saying things like you should go and hide, like it's your fault, it's horrible. It's horrible. When you're not there, you don't work it, you don't really have a right to say anything. If you're going to be an armchair marshal, whatever. And then hearing that Rossi says that those marshals should take responsibility for what happened, or at least partially take responsibility for what happened, that's also ridiculous.
And a quick thing to you. Was there not a meeting post-race with like IndyCars and the marshals after?
Yes.
What was said?
And they said that the local yellow was thrown in a timely manner. Period. The local yellow was there. So any claim that it wasn't is not factual.
Yeah, I think the thing that pissed off a lot of marshals, I guess, defending what happened, and idiots online, when they looked at the video and they see the light panel behind the crash is green with the green flag out, that's standard fucking procedure.
Yeah, because that's turn 2.
Yes,
that's what you're supposed to do.
That's not where the accident is. The yellow is coming up into it.
Yeah,
and
not
then,
to
like,
mention the fact
if
that,
the light
like,
panel was
sorry.
green, though, but if the light panel was green, the light panel doesn't turn green on its own.
No, it has to be activated. Like, the yellow at 1 has to be activated for the green light to come on at 2.
Yeah. And the green light was on at 2.
Yep. Which means that it was which means the local yellow was there. So any claim that it wasn't activated in a timely manner is just not based in fact. It's wrong. Period. Yep. That's just it. It's an unfortunate incident, but I don't think any marshal should take responsibility for what happened, because they were still doing their jobs, and they did their jobs in a great way.
Yes.
But things happen so fast. It's impossible to react faster than they did.
And like the safety,
and it's just such a shame.
The safety car, the full course yellow was lit up on the panel after the first hit, after Ericsson goes into Pato. And I get it. Then maybe, you could avoid the car or like throw it earlier to make sure no one crashes into him. Okay. But regardless, if you'd thrown the full course yellow even before Ericsson gets there, well, if they're already past the local yellow, they're not going to see the full course yellow. So what difference does it actually make?
Well, I think the thing is that people are forgetting just how fast things develop. So by the time the communicator is saying, okay, we have a car, like, first off, not to mention that we were told specifically by race control to let a situation develop if a car spins, because they could just continue.
Yep.
Why throw a local yellow if they're just going to continue? There's no point in trying to, in slowing down the race, right? Okay, you let the situation develop. The communicator is already on saying, Pato spun, he stopped on track, boom, boom, boom. Oh boy, there's a car flying. What else are you supposed to do, right? So they're throwing the full course yellow as the communicator is saying what's happening right in front of him.
Yeah, like, I don't understand the being upset with the actual corner marshals and, like, the people around the track who, again, are volunteers, who are here for the love of the job, or, like, for the love of racing. They are there to make sure everything goes smoothly. They did their part. Arguably, you could say maybe you have to look at changing where the flag stand is, or adding an additional flag stand maybe at the apex or something.
From what I understand, IndyCar is investigating adding a mirror panel on the apex of one. So it's not like this incident won't inspire change. Like, we know we need change to happen. There won't be an additional flag stand, but there will at least be another light to warn them at like another point in the corner.
Yeah.
So they're not kind of going into that blind.
I mean, also arguably, maybe they could like just redesign turn one.
They could. You're right.
Arguably, you may want to knock the curbing a little back, push the apex a little back, make it maybe a little faster corner. Because that turn one now, it's just not the same as it used to. It seems like it's a whole lot tighter. It seems like it's arguably it's tighter and slower.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say if you could maybe push the apex back, you might have a better race out of there and more drive into turn 2 or 3. So,
Yeah. I mean, it is the second year in a row that there's been a pileup in one. So
it's been that way for a couple years now. It's one of the best passing options because on restarts, it's like one of the only places you can do it. And you want to get it done there before you can get down to 2 because 3. Damn it. I sit in 3. I should be calling it 3, not 2. But when you get down to 3, these cars are not the same lightweight cars that they used to be that could make passes easily into 3. They're a little heavier, they're a little more not as nimble. You don't see guys tucking in a guy's slipstream and popping out now. It's a lot more they're setting up the pass into the braking zone, not through the braking zone into the apex. So, yeah. I still blame the X Hotel for killing Toronto. It's never been the same since. But yeah, we can all, in our opinion on this show, we're all going to say that the marshals did nothing wrong.
Correct.
No, and I think the evidence that you've already said is there. And then, so I was just looking up, I'm trying to find some of the comments, but Ferrucci's comment was, I didn't see a yellow, and I didn't have anything from the spotters. So it's not just, you can't just pin it straight onto the marshals at that point, because nobody had called it in time. I think the point of, there's just no way, so we were sort of listening to the Marshall Pruitt comments on it, and it's like, and his point was sort of, you could maybe say that they could throw a yellow sooner. I don't think it changes the outcome though. Maybe someone doesn't hit as hard, but 8 other cars made it through unscathed. Palou dodged around him quickly. Who else was it? It was VK, Rahal. Who else? Malukas, Armstrong. A bunch of cars made it through. It's just these 3 didn't.
What are the 3 that didn't?
Fittipaldi. Who was it? Fittipaldi, Siegel, and Ferrucci.
Young guys, kind of with something to prove.
Yeah.
A guy who might go into a corner a little more recklessly than some other guys. Meanwhile, veterans and everyone else arriving on scene have no problem getting through it at all.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it's like, well, I didn't see anything because you were already past the light panel, because these things happen in seconds. It's so much easier to just say, well, I didn't see anything, instead of actively thinking about where things are on track and what the design is. And I think the problem is that when you comment stuff like that, it is so easy for people to pick on something. And I think the easiest option was, well, the marshals.
Yeah.
They didn't throw it in time. And honestly, I think that, I don't think they could have thrown the full course yellow even earlier than they did, because of just how things developed and what they were expecting in terms of communication on track.
Yep.
So I will disagree with any person. I'm going to disagree with, anybody who says blah, 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 it wasn't early enough. No. It was as early as it could have been.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And like, if you look back at it too, like it's within under 2 seconds from Pato spinning to Ericsson collecting into him, and it wasn't until like 5 seconds after that a car is over getting launched over him. And
Yeah,
like, if
the cars. Sorry, go ahead.
If it's within the 5 second window, like, or like, what did you say, 3 seconds that they had the flag out, or they had it. So by
3
the time.
seconds.
By the time the 1 second is, it's okay, 1 second, 2 second, okay, cars around, cars on the wall, okay, that's process. I can process that happening. My arm's out now with the flag. There's your 3 second mark.
Exactly.
But like you said, in that time, you're already like, you've processed, bam, bam, oh crap, get the flag out. There's your 3 seconds. It's car spin, car into him, flag out.
And they're already passed.
And they're already gone. Because it wasn't less than 2 seconds later, the other cars are hitting them.
But it was also, was that not on a restart?
That was a restart.
Exactly. So they were bunched up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So to me, I'm like, you're not thinking about everything that's involved in this situation. All the cars were bunched up. So if Pato doesn't see a local, like Pato wouldn't have seen a local yellow because the whole thing was his fault anyway, or it started with him. And so like none of the other cars had an opportunity. They were already passed.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
What is the also when it comes to one, what is the flagging situation there? Like, is the flagging stand the same one where the corner captain is, or is it like is someone down is like that can see it, or from your flagging stand can you see the whole corner?
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know where the placement of the flag stand is at one. Because I haven't worked that corner before, but from what I understand, like Paige was working it, and she said, like, I know she was working safety and she had to like run back and forth, but basically
Was Paige there
where the light panel
for the race?
Yeah.
Oh, so we can blame her.
No.
Oh, we can dox her to the IndyCar fans. Oh, let's get this going.
No, absolutely not.
So we know an actual person who was working in corner one.
Yes.
During the race.
Yes.
Okay. $50, people. I'll dox them for you.
No.
Wow. 20.
Which is why we're like all so heated about this, because we know the people who are working at turn one, and it's like Brian was the communicator.
Okay.
Brian, head of MMS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
like,
just really disappointing.
You have good people there. It's not like it's fucking a bunch of scrubs.
No. Good marshals, good people, competent as heck. So yeah, it's been a week of just seeing disappointing opinions.
Yeah.
And like whatever, but that's why I have a little bit of an axe to grind right now with Pato and Rossi, because to be honest, I think their comments are just ignorant.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And you know what? I think with that, I think we can move on from this conversation now.
Oh, here, sorry, just one quick thing. Easy solution then. Anytime that there looks like there's going to be an accident or anything, just instantly full course yellow. This is what people want, and we'll see how many people start complaining about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
What?
Terrible idea.
No, that's what I mean. People want super quick everything. Okay, as soon as a car loses even a little bit of control, full course yellow, we're gonna re-rack everybody, and we'll see how many people enjoy IndyCar parades.
Yeah, 5-hour races.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
but yeah, moving on, we have another controversial race to talk about.
Again, involving a McLaren.
Actually, I don't know. Do you want to talk about the controversial one in Hungary or the controversial one in Indianapolis?
Oh, jeez.
If you want to talk about, if we're talking bad yellows coming out, fuck it. We're going to Indianapolis next, because
okay, do that.
People were pissed at the ending of that race.
Yes.
Is this NASCAR?
Yes,
to be
NASCAR.
clear?
Yes, it's NASCAR.
Brickyard.
We've been okay. At full disclosure, I'm so out of the loop with NASCAR this week because all of this IndyCar stuff happened and has constantly been going on. I was half in F1, but anyway, all right.
Honestly, the NASCAR was very quickly. Brickyard 400. NASCAR's return to the oval. Honestly, it was a pretty decent race. Not gonna lie. Well, it's a decent race in the sense that it's NASCAR on the oval in Indianapolis, so that alone gets bonus points. However, the issue was it's a race in Indianapolis, and Indianapolis is very much a one-groove track. You cannot get up in the high line without getting into the marbles and losing grip. The saving grace of the race was in the last 20 laps, Kyle Larson just kind of went off and was just slicing and dicing through the field. A lot of guys were on fuel safe. They were trying to make it to the end. Larson basically was not. And yeah, was making moves that you would have saw him make in May. It honestly looked like he had learned from his IndyCar experience what he was doing on Indianapolis. And it was great to watch. The issue was we had a caution with 2 laps to go. Was it 3? 2 or 3? Kyle Busch reminded, oh yeah, this is 2024 Kyle Busch, and decided to wreck. So
yeah.
Everyone that was stretching fuel to make it, I think Logano and Blaney were up there or something like that. No. Was it Logano? I think it was Blaney was one of them. I honestly can't remember this time. It's been a day. It's been a week. But the moral of the story is, at the end of the race, we're going through overtime. And coming out of 2, someone spins. Okay, someone spins in the backstretch of Indy, crashes. Now, usually, you would expect a yellow flag to be flown because of a crash. They decided, no, we're going to wait to see if he gets started. Spoiler alert, no. He
was trying.
No, but you can't say, okay, now we're going to wait, but other times you'll have a guy spin, oh, yellow immediately.
Yeah.
It's the inconsistency in NASCAR of the when you throw it, when you don't. And you wait. Then they get back to him after they get the white flag, throw the yellow. Kyle Larson gets the win, which honestly he was looking like he was gonna win anyway. But a lot of fans were like, well, they just gave it to him because, they didn't want to throw the yellow to have another restart. I mean, he was the best guy out there and not fuel saving, so he was probably going to win, regardless of the restart or not, but people are mad. And then there's the whole argument of, well, what's the point of having overtime anyway if you're just going to end the race under caution because someone wrecked and then you didn't want to throw it until they got to him. So yeah, there was a lot of fans who were unhappy with the NASCAR's calling for that race. And honestly, I kind of get it. But at the same time, I don't think it would have changed the results too much.
No.
Simple idea. Get rid of fucking overtime.
Race to the distance.
If it ends under caution, it ends under caution. That's what you're risking. But also, if you know it's going to end under caution, that's an issue again. Maybe guys change how they race. Maybe you don't make that stupid dive bomb move, Kyle Busch, and wreck yourself with 3 laps to go. You just hold on and take your lumps and finish where you want to finish. But again, who am I to question the good old NASCAR people and, their infallible decisions, apparently. No, Steven, you watched. You caught up to it. What did you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate the give him a chance to get it going, but there was a solid 10 seconds where it's like, this guy's not moving. The right rear is flat. I think that at that point they just wanted to end the race.
Honestly, I kind of agree with that too. They were like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Because it was, I think there was a solid 10 seconds of, it was Priest that was trying to get it going. Wasn't rolling, was sort of just rocking back and forth. And it was, they're coming out of 4. You could have thrown it right then because you gave them enough time at that point, I think. They wait till they get around to 2 on a 2.5 mile oval. So
they gave him 2.5 miles.
Well, or you could even say we waited, we gave it another 1.25 miles when they're coming out of 2, coming up to them. Oh, now we'll throw it.
Yeah.
It's just throw it at that point. Or again, maybe someone had somewhere to be.
They had plans to
Gotta
catch. You know, it was running
Yeah.
late. Stuff was happening.
We're
Someone
late
fell
in the
asleep.
TV window. We're gonna be moved over to the Ocho in 5 seconds. So we gotta finish this race.
No, they're on NBC now, so they're moved over to the car.
Oh, right. I don't want that either. So
Ugh. No one wants to get put on the cock. Anyway,
but no, it's at that point just throw it. Like you can give the guy time to get turned around, but when you see he's not moving, just throw it at that point.
yeah, in the grand scheme of yellows coming out, honestly, the NASCAR one, I think people should have been more pissed off about, and the IndyCar one a lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, what can you do?
No.
Yeah, shall I move on to F1 now? Because I know we all at least know what's going on with that one.
Somewhat. I didn't make it through the whole race, but I know what happened. So, F1.
There wasn't really. Did you not watch the last 20 laps? So that's really all you had to watch. That was the race.
I got to Toto. There was like a screen. I wanted to watch the whole thing, and then I got like super bogged down with work. But
Honestly, first
I have
half
a-
is boring.
yeah,
It
I
was
really
paint
should just
drying.
watch the last 20s.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know about the racing incident between
Which one?
Verstappen and
Oh.
Lewis. And then the Piastri Norris controversy, which a lot of people have been talking about.
What do you guys
A
want
lot
to
of
start
people have a lot of opinions.
with? Hamilton, Verstappen, and Red Bull's reaction, or do you guys want to go McLaren and Piastri and Norris?
We'll just go in mention order. So why don't we start with Verstappen, Hamilton?
Okay, yeah. I think there's more to talk about in the other one, so we can finish with that then. Anyway,
Sure.
Verstappen, Hamilton. So Mad Max was back.
Oh, he's fully back.
Oh, he was back.
He was back running on 2 hours of sleep and 3 Red Bulls.
Oh, right, because of his late night sim racing that he's no longer allowed to do.
Yeah.
That's so bullshit. Anyway,
Daddy
we'll
help. Daddy.
we'll get to that.
You know what's funny? Just on the sleeping point. So, Daddy Helmet has said no more sim racing, and apparently Max has nothing scheduled. But now we're just gonna take it back to a nicer time back in like 2008. It's gonna be late at night before a race, and Max is just gonna be playing on the DS, playing Mario Kart.
Okay.
He's gonna-
Where did
he's
you
gonna-
steal? Where did you steal that joke from? There's no way you
Nowhere
came up-
actually.
Really?
Nowhere actually. Helmet's gonna be coming. He's gonna hear Helmet coming up the stairs, flip it close, slide it under. And the reason I came up with this is because that's what I used to do all the time.
And that's why your parents never loved you. Anyway.
Exactly.
Oh,
I was gonna say that's also why I have like -5 prescription.
Oh, yeah, having the DS here, and then you slide it under your pillow.
Yep.
Jeez,
What's that
you
noise?
went for
Nothing.
the jugular on that one.
Oh,
will
please.
admit.
That's what we do. We try to make each other cry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like how I always say, oh, I don't need to wear a hat, but I will. Sean, he needs to wear a hat because his hairline's dog shit.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Exactly. So yeah, Max apparently was unhappy with the car, was unhappy with the strategy.
Oh.
Basically was yelling at everyone. And honestly, I can see his frustration recently. You had the best car at the start of the year. You've had the best team for the last 3 years. And it seems like everything's falling apart. You're not the fastest one car. You may not even be the fastest second car. Like, you could be third on the grid now, which arguably I would say Red Bull is third on the grid. It's okay. They're still ahead of Ferrari, Taylor. They're still better.
yeah. I knew that Ferrari was not even in the question of the top 3, so it's all good.
That's fair. It's okay.
I'm in an acceptance.
We got Aston coming in fifth anyway. So, which they had their own issues too. But anyway, we'll get to that later.
Mhm.
So Max was very unhappy, yelling at everyone, and then pushing a car way too much, locks up, hits Hamilton. Honestly, it's a nothing issue. And I even think between Max and Hamilton, they even said themselves like, it was nothing. Like,
Yeah.
He locked up
Racing
and hit his
incident.
wheel. Yeah.
Is what it is. Happens.
I actually really liked, like, I don't know if you saw in the press conference stuff afterwards, like, Hamilton's kind of walked up and, like, gave, like, didn't say anything to Max, but kind of, like,
Yep.
you know, gave him a shake and, like, okay,
Yep.
we'll talk.
We'll
And, like,
chat.
Yeah.
Chat away from the cameras.
Also, yeah, they were so fucking chill about the whole thing that, you know, they're like, well,
No, but
Whatever.
that's also the right way to deal with it, right? Like it.
yeah.
Yeah, because there was what was it? The Craftsman Truck Series. I can't remember. Was it Corey Haim or someone got out and like it was just a little bit of like door bumping, and got out and almost started like the full blown World Star NASCAR fight in the pit lane. And it's like, really, you're gonna start a fight over that?
Gosh.
I mean, we've already saw
Like,
a
if it's-
couple of
if-
those. So, yeah.
Yeah. Like if the incident calls for it, and you think the guy's actually racing dirty, sure, go for it. Call him out in front of everybody. But like something like that, it's an incident.
Yeah.
I think it does also show like a lot of growth between the two of them, especially since like Abu Dhabi days, right? Like ever since was it 2021? I think it was a conscious effort to be like this, like we don't have beef. Like there's nothing here. So don't speculate that there is.
I think it's a combination of like, okay, one, Max is like now 26. He's not 23. Like he's older. He's a little more. He gets it. He understands.
He's got some
but I think
championships.
he understands the media side of things now, and more like, okay, everything's gonna get taken away to content. I think also Lewis is way more chill nowadays. He's almost like Seb freaking late Ferrari, Aston Martin days. Where he's like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I think part of it is he's been humbled like quite a bit with Mercedes' struggles the past couple of years. Like I think it's very easy when you've won year after year after year to get kind of used to that and it being difficult to adjust.
Yep.
I think Toto is still in that era of it's difficult to adjust, but I think Lewis is just that much more mature as well. So
I
he's
think,
coming to Ferrari, so we love him.
but I think Lewis knows his career is gonna be over in a bit, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the entire reason he went to Ferrari is because Ferrari essentially gave him the retirement plan.
All right. Well, okay.
But it's true, right? Like Ferrari gave him the extra money for him to form his own whatever the heck brand he wanted to do. Like that's all part of the post-career deal, and you want to have the world champion now representing your brand. Like it's genius, really. And Lewis, I think, did a really good job with that.
He did. I can't wait to see him win his 8th championship at Ferrari.
Jesus,
I had to-
fucking Delulu on this one.
I had to throw a little bit of Delulu there because
Did you get hit by a tire at Indy or something? Like,
tire bits.
okay, that's fair. Marbles do hurt if you get them in the right spot.
Oh yeah, I got
Yeah.
schmucked in the lip on one.
Oh.
Ooh. But anyway,
You imagine taking one of those like straight in the eye. Oof, that hurt.
Ass.
You're not gonna hit in the ass.
No, I said pass.
Oh, I heard ass.
No.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah.
I
If
would
you
rather
get
not get hit in the eye by a
ass-
piece of red hot fucking rubber.
well, that is why you're supposed to wear eye protection,
Are you? Oh, I
but
actually
it's
didn't know
just built in for us.
You can tell Sean
supposedly
wasn't
you
wearing
are.
eye protection.
that. I've had sunglasses.
But I would say that like 90% of marshals have eye protection or like have glasses of some sort. So
Now that you mention it, yeah, everyone either has actual glasses or like sunglasses. That's fair.
exactly.
Never thought of that. But yeah. Moving on from Hamilton, Verstappen, anyone else have anything to add for that? Like,
Nah. They didn't make a big deal of it. Why are we making a big deal of it?
I like seeing Max be mad and him getting a 10-place grid penalty for Spa. Oh,
Well,
oh.
yeah, he's got the power unit's getting replaced.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, no, like, so I can't remember where the point was made, but someone's like, it is awesome to see someone who has multiple world championships still have that fire to win, even at this point.
Yep.
So, it's fun to see.
Yeah,
Then
it
it's just straight up entertaining. So, here's hoping Max does some crazy ass dive bombs.
I mean, he's got to
Or
start.
something.
I think he's got to start going hard now. Like he's. I mean, he's good for drivers. I think we can establish he's going to win the drivers. That constructors is getting tight.
Yeah.
And that's mostly thanks to a 1-2 by McLaren. Gets them easily into second place now in the Constructors.
Hoorah.
Piastri gets his first win, and it is totally ruined by Team Orders.
Yep.
How does everyone feel about the winner of this race and how McLaren handled the whole situation?
I think
I'm
Lando.
not sure I have a lot of feelings. So
I need Steven. You're the McLaren fan, man.
I
need to know.
Yeah.
I think Lando sort of made a point during the race because they were like, yeah, we need you to let Oscar pass or something like that, and we want Oscar out front. Well, maybe you should have pit him first then. Yeah, maybe have a bit of a point there. You know the undercut is powerful. You know it. Everybody, like, there was guys pitting on lap 7 saying, we're going to get some undercut and get out in front of people here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you could have pit him first. I get they're trying to cover off. I think it was Hamilton. I don't think he was really a threat, to be honest.
He really wasn't.
Yeah, like, the McLarens had the pace. Piastri got, a second and a half out in front on the first stint. After lap 1, so
made the mistake in the second stint when ran wide.
Yep.
But yeah,
like I
feel bad for him.
Yeah, I also think at the same time, it's always tough looking at these situations, not knowing what was discussed pre-race. Like, just whoever's got the lead, we're gonna prioritize you. We may, if we have to put ourselves in a position to defend, we will do a switch and then we will switch back to just ensure ourselves the best possible results. So if that's the conversation that was had and Lando wasn't following it, then yeah, it's on Lando fully.
Yep. And
he's being a bit of a dick. I did love the pettiness from Piastri to just be like, fine, I'm just gonna sit all the way back here and complain on the radio.
Yeah, but then you had Norris being like, well, if he wants it, tell him to get up here.
Yeah.
And honestly, I kind of agree with Norris. Be like, I'm in front. I'm winning. I've only won one F1 race.
Yeah.
I can win my second. And you're telling me, no, give it to this guy for his first win.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. He's like, from a strategy standpoint, I probably would have tried the undercut anyways because it's really powerful at Hungary. Who would have known? So, yeah, I think this is just McLaren has figured out the car. They've got 2 good drivers that can clearly, like, Piastri is catching up in terms of skill, I think, to Norris.
Still young.
Yep. And but he's shown some maturity this year, and it does help that, the car is great, but it's not like Norris is the veteran and Piastri's still relatively young. He's figured out the car quick. Hasn't been a steep learning curve for him. But yeah, I don't know.
It was good to see post-race, though. There was no, I think, hard feelings between Piastri and Norris. I understand the frustration of both of them, but the team put them in that situation.
Yeah, and
there's nothing between them.
Yeah, and that's where the anger seemed to be mostly directed, because Norris was like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
I could have done this anyways.
Yeah.
Why do I have to give it up?
Exactly.
So... And Norris has come out in the last couple of days saying, I kind of wish I had just given it back to him sooner and then this isn't an issue.
He realized, I think, after race how bad it looked in the media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because during the race, you're like, well, I'm winning. What the hell? Like, come on. But as it goes on and on and on, and when the team kept telling him to do stuff, because I think Norris said, I was always going to give it back. It's like, well, the team didn't think that. Yeah,
maybe you could have done it with more than 2 laps left, because if a safety car comes out for some reason, then
maybe don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, because again, I'm trying to remember how much space they had. They had so much space it was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, especially after you had the Hamilton and Verstappen squabble, they had definitely a few seconds.
Yeah, and that was with 15 laps to go. So
yeah.
There was ample time.
Yeah, they won by 4. Hamilton was 14 seconds behind Piastri.
Yeah, so he was 12 seconds behind Norris?
Yeah.
So.
Well, but don't forget, Norris slowed the hell down
Mhm.
coming out of. But like, if you really want to be that Norris, like, just let him go and then chase him, race.
Yeah.
Are they saying establish the order? Fine, but it can be still raced. If you had
Yeah.
done that, I think that's a different. You put now the team in a different position to be like, well, yeah, you can still race, but you just wanted to establish the order first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if say that Hamilton Verstappen incident doesn't happen, they're within 5 seconds and gaining, then it's like, okay, well now we got to make a call to ensure a win here.
Exactly. Like, honestly,
So.
they really just should have handled that a lot better.
Yeah.
McLaren screwed up. Norris looked like an absolute asshole doing it.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, Piastri gets his first win, and he did not look that excited for it.
No, well, it's hard. It's hard to
No.
be, right? Like, it
Honestly,
feels
yeah.
less earned.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
And now we got the Belgian GP coming up. That should be fun.
yes.
Oh.
And then we're into breaks. We're into
stop.
break territory, guys, because
Oh yeah.
Olympics.
Yep.
Oh,
NASCAR's on a 2-week
yeah.
break. I think IndyCar's on a 2-week break here
I
too,
think
right?
on a 3 or something. Yeah.
Are they?
IndyCar's in a break. NASCAR's in a break. F1's in a break. Everyone's in a break because Olympics. So.
But I was.
We'll still have stuff to talk about. It'll be fine. But yeah.
3
Well,
3 weeks for IndyCar.
isn't F1 already, like, wouldn't they have been on the summer break anyway?
Nope.
Nope.
This
By
was
now?
Spa's the last one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Historically, you are right. Spa is usually when they get back to.
Okay. All right.
'Cause
Well.
Do you remember the famous Alonso in the folding chair for the summer break thing?
Oh, yeah.
That was in Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh
So,
boy, what a time!
So
What
now,
a time!
now Belgian GP is the summer break. So
Right. Okay.
that should be a
Alright.
fun
Then
one.
they're off for a month.
Yes.
At least NASCAR's only 2 weeks. We'll just have to find time to fill after next week. So.
I already have it all lined up. Don't worry.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
A couple of things to hit. I want your thoughts on. You were talking about, I guess, Hamilton kind of being more mature about things now. I just want to mention, it is interesting that he beat Russell again ever since that whole team preferring Russell thing came out and the email thingy. Yeah, Hamilton looks like he is the better driver again.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
Interesting how that
Tick.
is.
Took that personally.
I guess so. Ocon signed with Haas.
Yeah, we knew that though.
Officially
Oh,
confirmed.
We've known
it's
that for a while.
It's official now.
It's officially confirmed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. I
So we got-
see. Yeah.
Ocon and Behrman, I feel terrible for Behrman. Oof.
Yep. He's going to have his career ruined before he even gets in the car.
It is funny though that Behrman is already beating his future teammate.
That is funny. Or
I saw that today and I was like, oof, oof.
The other one was every single time Hulkenberg moves teams, Ocon takes a seat. 3 times now.
That's so true.
Yes.
Oh, sus.
It's just really funny. It just means you were the perfect mid driver.
Honestly, yeah, he really is. I honestly, I'm still surprised the fact that Haas even took him, but I'm sure. Is Toto still his manager?
Yes, I think he is. Yeah,
Yeah, he was probably pulling strings.
that's fair. Taylor, your favorite boy is back in F1, by the way. Mattia
What?
Binotto.
Oh,
What did you
I'm gonna try not to grr.
What's Binotto back with? Do you remember?
Audi.
Sauber.
Ooh, Saudi
He's
Arabia.
leading
Mhm.
the Audi project.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
have fun driving that into
Ooh.
the ground.
Yep. Honestly, it's hilarious. You know, we joke about other sports, Steven, where it's the same 10 guys that are always just rotating
Yeah.
for jobs. F1 is the exact same way. It's just the
Yep.
same
Exact
guys.
same.
Yep.
What a
I can't
joke.
wait for Gunther to be announced as the principal. That will be such a fun show.
Oh, that
Um,
would be great. I could see that because him
That
and
would be.
Binotto are really good friends, right?
Exactly.
Hmm. Hmm. That would be great, actually. Maybe Binotto would actually be smart.
Is Perez done after this week, by the way?
Yeah.
He redeemed himself slightly with Hungary because he was only where did he end up?
He was out in Q1.
He was out in Q1, but he did bring the car back to the points, which was surprising.
Wow.
He was 7th.
Fine.
So, I think he may have bought himself like an extra 5 minutes here.
He's bought himself one more Q1 exit.
Exactly.
Oof. Pain.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like, it depends.
If you're Red Bull right now, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
I was gonna say it depends if Red Bull wants to be like Aero McLaren or not.
They're the original. Red Bull's the original one.
No, I know. But lately they've been. Actually, we didn't even talk about that whole thing with Porsche.
I was getting there.
Oh
next.
yeah.
I was gonna finish this off with asking you guys if Perez gets booted at the end of this week in Spa, who do you replace him with?
Lawson or Yuki.
Yes.
It's one of those two.
Lawson. Although Yuki, I think, would be annoyed if it wasn't him. Because he was like,
100%.
it would be weird if Lawson got the seat instead of... I know he didn't say instead of him, but we all kind of like can read between the lines there.
Yeah.
I have the best theory of how they should do it.
How?
Oh.
Ricardo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricardo, but it's only for the rest of the season. You are guaranteed to not get the seat next year.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yuki and Lawson fight it out the rest of the season. Whoever is the better driver gets the seat. That's how you do it.
Do it.
Full on toxic,
right.
all that shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess we can finish off with Aero McLaren getting another driver, which is an old driver.
Well,
which is a new car. It wasn't the 6.
And cycled back.
So yeah, it was Friday practice. Alex Rossi hit the wall, broke his hand, and so started the driver search for McLaren. Steven, do you have the whole Theo Pourchaire timeline thing?
Oh, you know what? Where is it?
I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is.
I did have it saved somewhere. Give me 1 second. But
Yeah,
I think it. So basically, at 5 o'clock, because I can somewhat remember it. 5 o'clock is roughly when they announced that Rossi was going to be out. There was no way he was going to make it. Obviously, broken thumb, kind of hard to race with. I think 6 o'clock was when TK got on the phone with Pourchaire and said, "Hey, you want to make a cross-Atlantic trip and come drive an IndyCar?" They had the flight booked. Shortly after that, he went from France to Frankfurt.
It was like Nice to Frankfurt to Toronto.
Yeah.
Landed at like
Meanwhile,
12.
Meanwhile, they have a guy from the crew in Indy go pick up his seat because thankfully we have that already.
His seat and his suit.
Drive overnight to Toronto, which Sean and I have done. It is an interesting drive. Well, actually, I guess
8 hours. Not that
yeah.
bad.
Well, and I guess like overnight it wouldn't be too bad. But I can just imagine you're like, yeah, don't have anything to do. We're back at the factory, so gonna have a nice quiet weekend this week. And oh, honey, by the way, I gotta go drive to Toronto right now.
Yep.
We've had this dinner on the calendar for months.
So yeah, basically, I have the whole timeline here now. So yeah, you're 6 o'clock. They announce Rossi's out. 6:10, they're calling.
6:10.
They're calling Pourchaire. 6:37, so literally like 27 minutes later, flight is booked. 6:45, someone is driving to the shop and driving it to Toronto.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, they're sending him a whole bunch of like onboards and stuff to prepare him. 12 o'clock, he's leaving Nice, getting to Germany. Then 1:30, he lands in Germany. 4 a.m., he leaves Germany for Toronto. Lands at 12:50, gets to the track.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Qualifies.
Is not last.
Yeah.
Good for him. Honestly, after like a crazy oh my gosh, that's
20,
insane.
20 hours, not even.
Oh, that I know, and like to not be last. Good for you, Pourchaire. Good for you.
It's amazing given the week that he had. With
Yes.
The whole
Yeah.
the whole his comments, walking them back, and like the tweet from Kanan of being like, don't forget what we said, and then all of a sudden Kanan is calling him up. Like, absolutely hilarious. Also, it sucks for Rossi because we know he's not going to get back in that seat. Apparently, once you're injured, injured, you don't go back.
Fair. That's fair.
Once injured, you never go back.
Once injured and already on a lame duck contract. Ugh.
Yep. Well, not even.
Yeah.
Highlight wasn't on a lame duck contract.
Neither was Pourchaire. He was a 2-year deal, wasn't he?
Yeah, 3-year.
Oh fuck. Apparently. Anyway, so yeah, it was a fun weekend to be at the track with all that kind of buzz. Like I guess we're ending with Toronto. We start with Toronto, end with Toronto. It was a fun event. It was very well done. Probably better one in a few years. A lot of buzz at the track. A lot of excitement in the fans. Like, was there a more lively crowd, you think, being there, Stephen?
Not the last couple of years for sure.
Yeah.
It is coming. It's definitely been coming back. Like, so we went down all 3 days. I think that's the busiest it's been on a Friday.
Oh, it was packed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Like for practice, it was tough to get a seat.
I'm trying to see if they have attendance numbers yet.
I don't think so. Not yet, anyways. But no, it was great to see so many people out and so many, like, I don't know how many people, if they release how many people bought the paddock pass. I'm very curious because they must have made a killing on that.
Yeah.
With how many people were in the paddock area in between sessions.
It was quite busy, and like, yeah, I think Christina took some of the best photos I've ever seen in the paddock area.
Oh, the
Nice.
fact that she got the reflection photo of Herta's car being brought out is amazing.
With that
That's
facade
cool.
background, it is such a great photo.
Yeah, so now we just got to get her down there on a Friday when it's not as busy, because one time we got down there at 9:15, and it was still pretty quiet. But I mean, 9:15 on a Friday morning, not necessarily going to be the busiest. But honestly, that was the prime time to go. We saw Pato walking in.
Yep.
Saw TK walking in.
Yep. This is before Taylor hates Pato, obviously. So you said you were mad at every McLaren driver. So why do you hate every single McLaren driver now? Norris,
No.
Norris, I get.
No.
Pato, I get.
No. Only an IndyCar. Wait. I hate half of them. How about that?
There's 3
Siegel,
of them.
I have no beef with. Okay, so I hate 2 of the 3.
Pourchaire is
Rossi-
French.
Okay, so former, not current. Pourchaire is fine. Siegel
Okay.
is, I've got no beef with him.
Does Malukas count?
It's Rossi and Award.
Okay, that's fair.
Malukas, so sad.
He had a good week.
He did.
He
had a great car.
Yeah, he had the freaking tragically hip car. It was awesome.
That car was great. My dad loved that
Ah.
car when I was showing him pictures.
That car did look really good.
Yeah. Also, I think the funniest part of the week, and we can end on this story. Me and Steven had a little bet going in the race. We each picked
Did you?
We picked the driver who would finish higher. Steven, who'd you pick?
I took Malukas.
No, you picked Siegel, I thought. You had Siegel, and I had Simpson.
Oh, that bet. No, I thought you were
That
talking
one.
about the bet. I thought you were talking about the bet we made with your dad. He still
No.
owes me $20 because of the fucking Grosjean.
He
fucked
always
off
does that.
afterwards.
He always does that.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get your money. Anyway.
Damn.
So he had Siegel. I had Simpson. And basically, who's gonna finish higher? Whose rookie is better? Fucking Simpson put in the fucking wall, motherfucker. Pass me the fucking bet.
And it was literally
Oh,
one
too
spot.
good.
I mean, six lap difference, but
I
one
know.
spot.
But like,
Oh, that's
And the best thing was
good.
like they were actually like running close to each other the whole race. It was really fun for me and Steven to follow. Of like, okay, who's gonna do better? And that Simpson was actually having a decent run. I think he was like in the top 10.
No, he was doing good.
Yeah, he was like flirting with the top 10, and then puts it in the fucking tires. God damn it. Anyway,
Skill issue.
listen, your flags were a skill issue.
Yeah, Sean has officially switched teams.
Switching sides.
Okay.
Let's go, Pato. Let's go, Rossi.
No.
I didn't even see what Rossi said.
I didn't either.
Bacon. It was on Hinge, like the podcast that they do.
It was on off track. Okay.
Oh, they don't have the YouTube version out yet. That's why I didn't see it.
So honestly, as far as I'm concerned, go lick a toe.
Are you talking to me? Listen,
I don't know.
do you see how bright I am right now? I am basically a yellow flag, just not in
Yeah,
yellow.
you are. Truth.
Just wave me out a sign.
Well, it is what it is. We're just gonna have to hope for a better race and maybe
Less
no
dicks.
big incidents.
Yeah, maybe guys
Yeah.
don't make comments. They don't know shit. Anyway.
Well,
on
it'll also
that-
be interesting
Hey,
once the investigation results come out. Maybe because who knows? Maybe there was something faulty in the wiring, and that's the only issue. And then everybody's like, "Oh, okay, fine, whatever."
There is no fault. All right.
Anywho.
I'm just
Taylor knows it
Anyway.
was. We have the insider here, Stephen. Come on. Anyway, on that
over it.
wonderful note,
So
thank you.
over it.
Thank you very much for joining us for this episode. We'll be back next week. Remember to give us a like, give subscribe, all the fun things. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.